While this is a channel about photography, a lot of what I do now is video. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I hope that you can tell how much time and effort we put into really trying to up our game and make these videos enjoyable to watch. In the past, a lot of the footage we shot for these videos was just on iPhones, but this year, as much as possible, we have been trying to use our Fujifilm XT4 with various lenses to really dial in a look and a feel that we really love, and we hope you do too. We've used a bunch of lenses, but the one that's been our go-to lately is the Nikon 35mm f2.d. That lens is really great and I love the look that we get with it, but there are two small issues. On a crop sensor, 35mm is simply just not wide enough sometimes. With a follow focus, it's fine for manually focusing, but to focus by hand, there just isn't enough dampening. So we have been looking for a manual lens that's a wider focal length, but they can be really hard to find. Finding something in the vintage glass realm that's a wider focal length, but with a fast aperture is really difficult too. Anything I've seen out there in that category is super, super expensive too. So when 7artisans messaged me to see if I wanted to test this lens, I jumped on the opportunity as it's just what we needed in our lens lineup. We had already tested their 12mm cine lens. I do have a video on that if you're interested. It was a really great lens and it was a fun challenge shooting at that focal length, but it is quite wide, so it's only suitable for certain scenarios. It's also a pretty chunky piece of kit, so it's not exactly very discreet as like a whole rig when we're out filming. Like this one is a lot smaller and felt a lot easier to carry around on our XT4. It's really incredible that we can get such affordable, great quality lenses in 2023. The options are just so abundant, and I think this really fills a gap that vintage glass just can't. Last weekend, my partner and I were able to get out and about in the evening to test this lens on a little date night. We took turns taking photos and also doing some video. It took a bit of practice trying to nail focus in such low light and being at like f1.4 to 2. The focus peaking definitely helps a lot, but I find that kind of like gets in the way of composition and just like the whole photo taking experience. When we do go out to film, we have like a whole rig set up with an external monitor and follow focus, and that really helps to really like nail all of the filming shots. But it's just not always practical or something that you want to like carry around when you're just going out for dinner. So this was a more lo-fi setup. So I'm going to show you a little clip with some examples of photos and videos taken with this 7artisans 24mm 1.4 lens. As usual, we used some diffusion, in this case, the Glimmer Glass 1 filter. We do have a black Pro Mist 1/4 filter, but I find that that can be a little bit too much, and the Glimmer Glass is just a lot more subtle and kind of resembling film. We filmed in a Turner and added some color grading and some red tinted glow in post. So keep your eye out for that kind of like cine still halation look that we've tried to create. I'll leave links to some of the gear that we used as well as this 7artisans lens if you want to go and check it out for yourself. Be sure to comment below and let me know what you think of this lens and if you will be grabbing one for your kit.